The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Tuesday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Find them in the top right corner of the screen. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and I always want to take the time to thank Greenwood Chevrolet for their constant sponsorship and belief in this show since day one. If you can't tell, I'm rocking George Mason softball today, and I wanted to give a special shout out to Jordan Anderson, who has some very player-specific swag. The NIL deals are a bumping, and if you are a former YSN athlete like Jordan Anderson, who did a great job at West Branch in her softball career, and you have personalized college swag, make sure you let me know, because I definitely want to add you to my closet and represent you in your college journey. One of the pillars of YSN is loyal, and that does not end when you graduate from a YSN school. If you're doing great things, whether it be on the field or even if you're doing great things in the classroom, we are proud of you and we want to stay connected with you. So if you have some swag and as a college athlete, let me know. Let us know. We want to represent you. We want to put you in our closet. So Jordan Anderson from George Mason Softball. If you're a fan of West Branch, make sure to go to their team store and buy some Jordan Anderson gear. They have this in white, and I believe they have this in green too. With it's like a jersey. It's got Anderson 29 on the back. So fun stuff happening, and I wanted to take time to say that too. We had a great night of sports in the Valley last night. Some volleyball, some soccer, even some golf. Let's bring up the scoreboard from last night and go over some of the things that went down on the network. We will start with the game that I was at in the volleyball world. That was Western Reserve at Poland. This was the mother versus daughter coaching matchup. Chrissy Hughes, who you will hear from later on in today's show, taking on her daughter, Aaliyah Hughes Diamond, the head coach of the Poland Bulldogs. And this was a domination clinic by Western Reserve. They won this one in straight sets, 3-0. The final scores were 25-6, 25-5, and then some fight in the Bulldogs in the last set, 25-19. When I was watching this match unfold, two things were clear. One, Poland is still very young and inexperienced, and they have a lot of growth to do as a team, playing as a unit, and being a little bit of some confidence, I think, in their abilities, because they do have ability. They showed that in the third set. They do have the ability to go out there and be a very good volleyball team and compete with some of the best teams in the area. But they also are very young, and I felt in the first two sets I saw a little bit of indecisiveness, a little bit of nerves to just go hit the ball hard. That's what I was talking about with Coach Diamond after the game. Got a chance to talk with her a little bit, and they have to have the confidence to hit the ball hard and let things happen. There were too many errors that came from uncertainty and the I don't want to make a mistake. And sometimes when you don't want to make a mistake, you end up making more. And I think that's something that this Poland team, this very young Poland team, 10 freshmen on the squad for the Bulldogs, they're going to learn very quickly Hopefully that last set gives them a little bit of confidence going forward. Western Reserve, though, they're firing on all cylinders. They are not inexperienced at all. They have the dynamic duo of Aaliyah Hughes and Lisa Eichert, who finished with 9 and 7 kills apiece. They are still the 1-2 punch that Western Reserve has. One of the big questions, though, for the Blue Devils this year that I had coming in was, how was the setting going to look? And it looked really, really good. There was not one single ball handling error on Western Reserve, which tended to be a little bit of a bugaboo last year for them. They were able to stay away from that. They spread the ball around pretty well to not just Hughes and Eichert, but they got Dalen Brown involved in the offense. They got Angelina Capabianca involved in the offense, and they even had Izzy Morrow involved in the offense as well. So these setters did a really good job mixing it around, not falling in love with Hughes and Eichert and, continuously setting them. They made the defense of Poland respect the other hitters, which is what you have to do as a setter. And then the passing for Western Reserve. I mean, even if you have really good setters, if you're not in system, you're not going to be able to do much. And Allie Jones, liberos don't get anywhere to enough credit, but her digging ability and her ability to get the ball in system a lot of the time was very, very fun to watch, and she played really good defense in the back row for Western Reserve. Aaliyah Hughes was 1 kill away from a double-double. She had 9 kills and 11 digs. Her post-game interview, along with the post-game interview from Chrissy Hughes, is on our YouTube page. If you're watching on YouTube or you go and check out those post-game interviews, want to remind you to please hit that subscribe button on the YSN YouTube page. Now that the fall sports are in full swing, we are definitely updating that YouTube page every single day with post-game interviews, coaches' corners, player profiles, highlights. You'll find some full games. All the episodes of our shows, Power Hour and Running Point, are on there, as well as the Audible Call. So you want to subscribe to the YSN channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a minute of the action. Let's go into other volleyball scores. We'll just go up from that Western Reserve game and then over. How about Springfield and Cardinal Mooney both playing a heck of a match, and Springfield wins a 5-set thriller 3-2. And Jamaica Brungard was a dominating force for the Tigers. 20 kills for her. Balin Brungard also got well involved in the offense. She had a great day as a sophomore, had a great freshman year last year, coming back onto the scene. And what a great performance it was for the Tigers. Amara Anderson and Jada Lane, along with wait, I got to get this name right because it was a new name for Mooney, and I want to make sure that I have it. Got to be correct. Thank you, by the way, to Tony Shaheen for sending in a lot of great info. Brinkley Bear was also big in the Mooney offense, so they have multiple hitters doing great things, and this was one of those volleyball games that came down to the little things, and Springfield did the little things a little bit better. So a great job by both teams, though, in the first match of the year. Springfield gets the 5-set victory over Mooney. Jefferson volleyball, a lot of excitement around them. They get the 3-0 win over Orange. They are bringing back almost everybody. They only graduated one senior last year, and that was Remy Ryan. Everybody else is back for that team. So there's a lot of excitement for Jefferson in a brand new conference this season. They opened it up with a 3-0 win over the Lions. Southern Local, a lot of excitement about them too. They're bringing back a ton of talent. 3-0, they sweep St. John Central to open the season. Niles gets the win over Lordstown in a 4-set match, 3-1. First win of the year for the Dragons. They open up league play tonight at South Range. Jackson Milton, another 5-set thriller with Lowville, 3-2. And if you look at the stats for this one, the recap for this game can be found on ysnlive.com. The stats would tell you that maybe Lowville had the upper hand, but Jackson Milton was able to win. You look at Lowville's stats, though. Serena Tyke had a match-high 16 kills. Ariana Romero had 14 kills. Bella Wilrich had 7 kills, so that's a big 3-headed monster right there. And then you look at Elizabeth Rossi with 3 blocks. Hadassah Rivera had 19 digs for Lowville, and then 29 assists from Alyssa Kazan. Then Jackson Milton, the winning stats, though. Maya Huvrich Crummel, she had 7 kills, 11 digs. Peyton Ford had 4 kills. There were many players with kills, but you didn't see that big number from Jackson Milton like you did with Lowville, with 2 players in double figures in the kill category. So Jackson Milton does get the win, 3-2 over Lowville. Your set scores were 23-25, 25-17, 25-16, 12-25, and then the Blue Jays won set 5, 15-10. Champion went to Wyndham and got the sweep over the Bombers, 3-0. They are 2-1 on the season. The Flash is trying to bring some momentum into their program this year. Last but not least, Liberty got the win over Warren JFK last night. No, they're not on our scoreboard, but wanted to shout that out. Liberty got the win in 4 sets. The set scores were 20-25, 25-19, 25-23, 25-8, 25-9. For the Leopards, it was Lexi Muck, the senior, 20 kills on the night. Mia Parker was also able to get 9 kills for the Leopards. For Warren JFK, their stats were not reported, but they obviously had a pretty good game with a lot of those sets pretty competitive, except for the last one. So JFK, we talked to Coach Sam Young a little bit earlier in the week, and he has a very inexperienced young team, but so far on the season, looking pretty dang good, 2-1 in a competitive match with a very good Liberty team that they fall to in 4 sets. Boys soccer, we have Middle Ridge and Columbiana playing a pretty good game, 4-3 though. Columbiana gets the win. West Branch and Crestview met, and it was a lot of offense for the Warriors, 7-3 the final score there. Boardman boys fell to Warren JFK, but that's a very good Warren JFK team. So looking good in Boardman for this matchup, 4-3, a very competitive soccer match, and the Eagles get the win. We see LeBray and Waterloo square off, and Waterloo gets the win 6-2. And then last but not least, Campbell runs away from East Palestine in boys soccer, 10-1, the final score there. Let's go over to girls soccer. I'll scroll down the actual web page and then scroll on the what am I doing? Can't see the scores there. I'll just go to my graphics on the Instagram, right? Let's just do that. So here are the girls' soccer scores from last night. Canfield was dominating with an 8-1 win over Poland. Macy Treporser and Lexi Treporser both had 2 goals for the Cardinals. Champion boys soccer beat Niles 4-0. We have Warren JFK girls soccer beating Newton Falls 6-0. We have Waterloo girls soccer beating Brookfield 6-0. Fitch girls soccer beating Ursuline 1-0. And I think those were the. Oh, and then West Branch and Howland girls soccer, they both tied at 1-1. So those were your soccer scores on the girls' side of the action last night. Oh, Champion beat Girard. And the final score there, hang on, we had it reported by their coach, and we definitely appreciate that. The Champion soccer final was 7-1, and they had a pair of hat tricks from Maylee Madowd and Taylor Kuhn. They both had 3 goals on the night, and then Jackie Fields also had a goal for Champion in their 7-1 win over Girard. So that does it for the recap from last night's action. Had a little bit of volleyball, a little bit of soccer, and I'll tell you, tonight's going to be a little bit more busy with scores because at the end of tonight, every single volleyball team will have their season started. So we're looking forward to that. So a lot of more action on the volleyball court tonight. Definitely more soccer as well. So we're doing big things. We're doing big things tonight, and we will preview what's going to be on the network tonight at the end of the show. But first and foremost, let's get to our coaches' corners. We'll play one, we'll take a break, and then we'll play the next. Western Reserve is 1-0 after the win over Poland last night. They have a big matchup tonight against Middle Ridge. This could be a very early decisive match when we talk about the picture inside that MVAC Scarlet tier. Let's hear the coach's corner and season preview from Chrissy Hughes from Western Reserve and what the big names of their program are and what it's going to look like this year. Anthony Hartwig here with a Western Reserve volleyball coach's corner and a season preview, joined by head coach Chrissy Hughes. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having us.
You got it. And we'll start with just kind of a meet the team segment. I'll give you the time to go through your roster, tell us some of the big names that you're going to feature this year, and maybe some new faces that Western Reserve should know before the season starts.
Yeah, so we have 4 returning seniors, Lisa Eicher, Olivia Hughes, Angelina Capianca, and Allie Jones. We have a junior setter, Haley Fellows. We have a sophomore setter, Quincy Miller. And then I have some upcoming juniors as well. That's going to be a big part of our game, which is Daylin Brown. She's a junior. Abby Blair, which is also a junior. And Isabella Morrow. She's a junior as well.
When you look at your roster and you hear all those names, there's a lot of experience coming back, a lot of upperclassmen. What's that going to do for this team to be having a lot of volleyball varsity experience on the floor whenever you want it during the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that is a good thing. I feel like it's a lot of pressure as well. I feel like they feel a little bit playing, my seniors for 4 years on a varsity court. So we try to go back to 1 point at a time, like the way to run it and to keep us positive and energetic.
A lot of these seniors aren't new to leadership, aren't new to having their name in the limelight. They've been successful at a lot of things they've done, but this is it. Like, this is their time to be the leaders of the team, the captains. How have you seen them handle that so far in the preseason, the summer, just stepping up as senior leaders and trying to really get this team where it needs to be?
Yes, absolutely. All 4 of them play a good role. I feel like our team demise is our enthusiasm. I don't know if it's like from past experience, this is the way it should be, get it done. So we're working on that. And I have a few of them definitely stepping up to that role. Also, I feel like they understand too, this is it. So a couple of their goals that we already said at the beginning of the season was, hey, play this like it's your last time playing.
Let's talk about your schedule as well. We'll have to start in the conference because it's a really good one in the MVAC Scarlet tier. You have a lot of teams that could be vying for the top spot. Talk about the conference, what it's like being in it, and what you expect out of it this year.
Yeah, as always, we definitely have some great competition coming. Mineral Ridge, the top team last year, definitely is coming back strong. We play them second game, so definitely a great challenge to start off with. And then I know McDonald, definitely never quitters. They definitely work hard. That's going to be another battle. Jackson Milton, we played them this summer. They're just constantly moving, never letting that ball fall. I haven't seen Lowville, but I've heard Lowville had a big numbers this year. So again, always something to reckon with in our league. We definitely have a tough league, and I'm looking forward to that competition.
And then when you venture out of the conference, I know you put together a schedule that will really test you and prepare you for the tournament when you get there. Who are some teams outside of the conference that you're really excited to play and test your team against?
Yeah, so this year we actually picked up Poland, which never played them before. So that's our first game of the season. Definitely look at for that. We picked up Liberty. I feel like they're a little bit strong too. We lost a couple teams that I'm a little disappointed in. We tried to get them, but it just didn't work out this year. But I feel like we filled in with those 2 as well.
You brought up Poland, which means we have to talk about it. Not only is it the first game of the season, but it is, of course, a little bit of a not sibling, but a family rivalry with mother versus daughter. And Aaliyah, the head coach over there at Poland, and you're taking up the Western Reserve coaching. What's that going to be like to to play each other. I know you scrimmaged last year, right? So you have a little bit of taste of going up against each other, but now it counts. What's that
Right.
going to be like?
We actually just scrimmaged last Saturday. So like I said, it's good competition. We do help each other out. Hey, did you see this girl? She was doing this. And then she'll give me some tips on my team because we both want to be successful for our teams. Yeah, it'll be competitive, but which we both want. We don't want to go out there. We want to be competitive. We want to play hard. So definitely it'll be a little bit of fun. We'll see. We got that competition down there, and I know it's a big deal, but I'm proud of her for what she's done over there. And I know my other daughter coaches with me, so it's definitely a big family rivalry right now.
I'm sure there are other ways that your family has stayed competitive inside the family unit, whether it be like game nights or backyard sports. What are some other things that maybe you and Aaliyah have competed in the past as part of a family?
Yeah, so Aaliyah and my husband as well, they love these backyard games. So we have some spike ball, we have a tennis ball spike ball, we have the volleyball net. We also have just the backyard games that they play all the time, and it's always a competition. So every time we have an event, whether it's just a week, we're playing cornhole or it's always competitive.
It's gonna be another backyard brawl with
Right.
Thanksgiving table bragging rights on the line.
Okay.
It's going to be a great game. When you talk about this summer, though, preparing for that first game, which is Poland, you've been working hard. Now you have a couple of weeks, left of scrimmages and just, fine tuning everything. What do you want out of these last couple of weeks of preseason before you get to that first game against Poland?
Yeah, we have been really working on some blocking, making sure that we can play some, blocks and tips off the block and hustling after every ball. So, we've, as coaches, did a little bit of challenge with our kids. Like, we don't want that ball to hit the ground. I know you think it's out of your touch, but we're trying to get them that confident to keep going after every play because like you said, we have a lot of experience. And with experience comes, hey, that ball's out of my sight. I'm not going to make that diving play. But we're trying to get it into their heads that, yeah, you can make that miracle play and fight hard for every single ball. So I definitely think we've worked on that a lot. Just work on our hitting connections. We have 2 new setters this year again that are, weren't dominantly last year. They did get in last year here and there, but that setter hitter connection, we're definitely working on that to prepare for the season, just so we can have some camaraderie between those setters and hitters. That's been our main focus, I could say. I know we also been scrimmaging some big teams. On Tuesday, we scrimmaged Crestview, which I feel like is a number one strongest team in this whole area. I don't care what division that you are, but they are tough, and it was a great scrimmage. We scrimmaged Canfield, we scrimmaged Ursuline. So we definitely are preparing that way. Tomorrow we have a big scrimmage against East Liverpool, which I know definitely have some talent coming back, and it'll be a great workout for us.
Having all that experience can be a double-edged sword for the program's future because, of course, after this year, they'll be graduating and you'll have to find ways to replace those 4th-grade seniors. So I want to ask about the young kids coming into this program, the sophomores, the freshmen, and what they're doing in the summer so far that you're seeing to really, get themselves into this program and be the next big names after your big 4 seniors graduate next year.
Yes, absolutely. So I know I mentioned some of the juniors. They've definitely have been stepping up, and we need them. They're great blockers. They're great hitters. So I know we have Dalen Brown, Abby Blair. They're back again. Isabella Morrow, she's a junior. She has come to us this year. So I know she'll be definitely somebody to step up those places. She's doing a great job for us as well. I do have some sophomores and some freshmen. They're working hard. I have 2 freshman setters that are definitely putting time and energy in. So I know that they're going to help us out, as long as my sophomore setter, who is playing varsity as well right now. So definitely working them in to show some replacements. We're working on our hitting down there. I have Chloe Ensley, who's a freshman. She's going to be a pretty good middle coming up. Elena Ward is a sophomore. She's definitely another taller middle that can help us out later. I also have a couple juniors that are going to be in-betweeners. So I'm excited to see them play a couple a little bit here and there to get that experience. Amanda Hamilton, this is only her second year out, but whoa, she's like 300% improved since last year, and she's a hard worker. So I'm definitely looking forward to her improvements and see how she could help our team out. And then Lauren Steed is also a junior. She is definitely moving well, playing back row for us a little bit. I hope to get her into some of the varsity games. So again, so we could have that experience be replaced next year.
We know in volleyball, especially, communication and team chemistry are so important. And that's what the summers are for before August 1st, before those mandatory practices start. A lot of camps, a lot of team bonding. What kind of things did you guys do this summer to build that team chemistry up to this point where it's at now?
Yeah, so we went to just a couple open gyms with some other teams. We did the Cedar Point thing again. This time we actually spent an extra day there. So we were there Wednesday through Saturday, which was like a big event. They had a good time. They played well. We have some riders, some not riders. They found the beach. They found some beach volleyball there. And that was a great experience for the kids in the hotel, as well as, working out and playing volleyball. We definitely don't have a lock-in again. That seems to be the team favorite. So we'll find a time to sleep over Friday night after a football game, do some team camaraderie all night, and then we'll be able to finish, with some little picnics that we're planning as well.
Are you on the writer side or are you a not writer side on that Cedar Point trip? Did they try to drag you on the roller coasters?
Oh, I'm definitely a rider. 100.
Yes.
I love it all.
I'm not surprised at all. Which one was your favorite?
My favorite ride there is the Millennium Force. I just feel fast and smooth. So, in my old age, that little shit, the fast and smooth, I'm still good with.
Coach, I also want to give you the time to highlight your coaching staff and all the people behind the scenes that are making this Western Reserve program exactly how good it is.
Yeah, so my assistant, or we just have a JV coach, Alexis Hughes, she does bring a ton of experience, and I'm glad to have her. She gives me a different look on the team that I really need at a lot of times. I have an 8th grade coach, Morgan Eichert. So she's actually Lisa's sister. So she has some good experience, and this is the first time her kind of running that junior high program. Then brand new coach to our coaching staff is Nicole Watts, and she's going to be our 7th grade coach. Our 7th grade team, they have put a lot of time in already. They've been to camps all summer long. They've been to all kinds of things. So I'm definitely looking forward to those middle school teams coming up to help our program along as well. These kids seem to love it, and they're excited. It's so fun to watch those younger kids develop.
Eichert, Hughes, you're just keeping everything in the families. It's got to be that way. We talked about what it's going to be like coaching against Aaliyah, but what is it like for you to be able to have your other daughter, Alexis, on your staff and to be able to work with her every day and to pick her great volleyball brain as she was a great player in her own right? What's that been like for you in that experience?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, I'm old school. I've been around for a long time. So those fresh eyes, those different plays, those different ideas, I couldn't really do it without her. And I know sometimes we'll even talk with Aaliyah, all three of us talking about, oh gosh, I can't get this girl to do this. Do you have any drills? Do you have any hits? So definitely talk as a family. My husband chimes in every once in a while. He likes to know that he's helping us out too. But all three of us, I feel like, help each other out. They help me, I think, a little more than I help them. But just the different drills, the different things that can help these kids become better players. And all in all, that's what we want. We want all these kids to learn, have fun, feel like they've improved every step of the way.
Normally at the end of these, we give the coach a chance to give the fans when their first game is, but we already talked about that. August 21st at Poland, the first time you can see Western Reserve on the floor. Is that second game? Is that your home opener against Middle Ridge? Is that home?
No, we are away as well.
Okay, so you're out Road Warriors to start. When's your first home game?
Our first game is that Thursday against Heartland Christian.
There you go. So if you're not going to travel with the team, which there's no reason why you shouldn't, but if you're not going to, their first home game will be that Thursday against Heartland Christian. Make sure to get out there and see the Blue Devils in action. Coach, we thank you so much for taking the time to come on and give us a season preview. We wish you the best of luck this year. We can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
All right. I'm excited for the season, and thank you so much for all you do for these kids.
got to get back in the swing of things. I had myself muted after that interview, but that was Chrissy Hughes from Western Reserve talking about her team. And once again, they had the win last night against Poland. And one of the things that I really like about this team is just the leadership and the coolness, calm, cool, and collectiveness of that group. When things got kind of dicey in that third set, Poland kept fighting back. They were down 3 at one point, 18-15. You felt like this was when Western Reserve was going to take control. Poland comes back, ties it up at 18. Those are times when you could see a team panic. You could see a team start to unravel a little bit. But not only did Western Reserve stay locked in and stay consistent, but they also did it without Coach Hughes having to call a timeout. They did it themselves on the court. They righted themselves, and that's a big boost for a team because I'm sure in a set like that, even though it was late, it was 18-18, I'm sure Coach Hughes wanted to save that timeout for in case Poland took a lead or if they needed it late. They only get 2 a set. So he probably did not want to call that with a tie set, 18-18. You usually in that kind of situation, you wait until the other team makes that a 4-0 rally and takes a lead. Then you call a timeout to make sure that lead doesn't grow. But at the same time, you also want to keep that one in your pocket unless you need it like really down the road, like in the 20s. So one of those tough decisions, and Chrissy Hughes really didn't have to make it because her team didn't really need a timeout to right the ship. They used Poland's timeouts to talk with their coach, and from that point on, they just kind of took it upon themselves to make whatever little adjustments they had to make and do it really well. Olivia Hughes looked fantastic. Olivia Hughes, all these Hughes out there. Olivia Hughes looked fantastic on the court as a senior. No errors that I counted, 9 kills. That's a great hitting percentage. Also 11 digs. Just one of those ones that you expect her to be great. Her swings looked good. Made the smart plays. There was one that was particular from the outside where they started to really key in on her cross court. So she went not down the line, down the chute, down the middle, but really kind of took the Poland defense a little bit off guard because they weren't ready for that spot at all. So picking spots on the floor to hit and then being able to very accurately hit those spots, very good things coming for Olivia Hughes in her future. By the way, one of the things that I think was her good luck charm, by the way, niece, her brand new baby niece was in the crowd. And, there was a lot of Hughes family, there, obviously, with Aaliyah coaching the Poland Bulldogs and Christy coaching Western Reserve, Olivia playing for Western Reserve. But the baby chose Olivia to support. She had the Olivia shirt on with the number 9 on the back. I don't know if she made that choice or if Olivia made that choice for her, but either way, it was right there. Obviously, she didn't make that choice. She's a newborn, but you know what I'm saying. But either way, I talked with her after the game, and Olivia said that gave her a big boost to know that the niece was there supporting her, and what a great night for that family. I know they all love each other, and they were probably a little bit relieved when it was over that they can just go and they can root for each other from now on for the rest of the season, and they can help each other out instead of trying to beat each other. So a great game last night between Western Reserve and Poland for sure, and they are both back in action tonight. Western Reserve traveling to Mineral Ridge for what could be a very early decisive game in that MVAC Scarlet Tier picture. These teams finished 1-2 last year, and neither team lost too much of their roster, so they're both coming back with full strength. And then Poland is in action as well tonight. They're getting into league play, hosting Struthers. So both those teams have to bounce. Well, I should say Poland has to bounce back. Western Reserve has to keep the momentum going. A very important game against Mineral Ridge tonight in Mineral Ridge. Noah Doty is going to be on the call for that game. We'll go over the whole schedule on the network a little bit later on the show. But first, we'll take a break. And on the other end of the break, we have a coach's corner and season preview to play with South Range volleyball head coach TJ Irons coming back for another year under the reins of the Raiders, and a lot of excitement for this South Range team. A good mix of leadership and youth, and a lot of freshmen that come out and are the volleyball players, the ones that focus on volleyball. They play JO volleyball, and that's always big for a program to have players that are volleyball minded to come into, the gym and show everybody what volleyball means to them, because that trickles down. Even the girls that, might not focus on volleyball, might be, volleyball for, staying in shape or just having something to do in the fall. And other sports are their focus. But when they have other people on the team that are, locked in on volleyball, that just raises their bar a little bit too, because they don't want to let those people down. So a lot of excitement for South Range. We'll hear from TJ Irons on the other end of this break on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by those good friends that you just heard from at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They also are the only place where you can test drive the all-new 2024 Chevy Trax. Not only does the all-new 2024 Chevy Trax offer you a sleek car, but it gives you a smooth ride and takes you the distance. Test drive one today by getting onto the link online, greenwoodchevrolet.com/Trax test drive, or you can go to into the Greenwood Chevrolet dealership and schedule a test drive for the 2024 Chevy Trax. Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown is the only place you can test drive that brand new vehicle. So make sure to get on down there, check it out if you're in the market for that. It's a great little SUV. It's a great SUV. Great vehicle if you're in the market for that type of transportation. So that being said, we're going to get right back into the coaches' corners and season previews. South Range is 1-1 after splitting the tri-match at West Branch, losing to West Branch, beating Southeast, but they open up league play tonight at home against Niles. And TJ Irons has a great season preview talking about what his program's going to look like. Let's hear from him and see what South Range has in store for us this season on the volleyball court. Anthony Hartwig here with a South Range Volleyball Coach's Corner. We're having a little season preview here with TJ Irons, who returns as the head volleyball coach. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me.
We've heard a lot of excitement out of this South Range preseason in the volleyball game. We know that you're bringing a lot of really fun freshmen this year, and you have a lot of senior experience as well. Go through your roster real quick for us and have us kind of a meet the team segment. Show us the big names and some of the new faces that we'll also see for South Range.
Right. It's tough to talk about the team and not start with our seniors. We've got 5 of them coming back. A couple of them, are going to be, 4-year letter winners for us, in Sarah Coons and Maddie Dado. And then the other 3 have had a lot of very important varsity experience too, with Maddie Mook, Olivia Melly, and Gretchen Bartels. So those 5 have definitely set the tone for us with how they've shown up here in the preseason and in the off season, and just been the leaders that we expect them to be. The junior class has a ton of talent in it too, and we really are going to have to rely on that class for us this year if we're going to be successful. And then our younger kids that we had a great freshman class last year that are now sophomores, and then a freshman class this year. Both of those groups have done a lot for us, and some of those, we do have a couple of those younger girls have been playing up with varsity and doing a good job. So it's been a good summer and a good preseason with them.
Talk with these seniors, and we've talked with them every year. We've covered them every year, of course. Seniors at South Range Volleyball, they're hungry. You can tell they know what the past for the volleyball program had been. They've been through a couple of years that were tough. They've been through a couple of years where they were close. They were there. They were making strides. The hunger of the senior group, what can you say about it, and how much they've been working this summer to really make this last season what they know it can be?
Yeah, I mean, they do. They love the sport, and that's what we talk about all the time. Is like, if you're not having fun playing this sport, you might want to be here, because volleyball is one of the best sports there is. So they showed up, and they've been very hungry. They've come to our open gyms. We had a very aggressive summer as far as we played at YSU. We played at Athletics. We played at Camel. Played at Jackson Milton. So we took lots of opportunities to try to get some of the younger kid experience, and also to give those seniors chance to start building that leadership. And they did a great job for us.
Do you see that hunger starting to filter down into some of the younger kids, where they're kind of feeding off of that energy that the senior class is bringing?
Absolutely. And that's always what you hope for. You hope that those seniors will be the leaders and the younger kids will follow. And that's definitely been happening. The young girls definitely look up to them. Matter of fact, the past couple practices, we've even had times where the JV kind of gets done a little bit before the varsity, and the JV will just sit there and watch the varsity finish